Right, hello everybody. I'm really excited today to be talking to local beauty entrepreneur Lisa Armitage from natural skincare business Lisa Armitage Skincare. So Lisa, hello, thank you for talking to me today.
Hi Lottie, how are you?
Yeah, really good, thank you, really good. I'm really kind of wanting to pick your brains to learn all about your business. You're somebody who I've admired for a long time. We met, of course, when I was first living in Barnack, back in the days when I always played cricket at the club together. So I've been watching your journey over, I don't know how many years it's been, 12 years or more probably, 14.
Yeah, 14.
Like 14 years, and you've gone from strength to strength, and you've even been featured now in Vogue and Tatler magazine. So wow, I'm already bent over at your knees, in awe of you there. So well done for really building your business up. But it's been a long journey. I mean, joking apart, it's been a long journey for you, hasn't it, to get where you've got? And
it certainly has.
I won't talk about that now. I'll let you talk about it. But before we get into the whys and the hows of your business, I just wondered if you could, throughout our conversation today, try and share some top tips for everybody today about how they can help their skin and help having naturally beautiful skin with the things that they're putting on their skin and what they're eating and how they're doing it. So we'll get to that. But briefly, Lisa, just share with everybody why and how you started this natural skincare business, if you could.
Certainly will. So I'm going to go back a little bit further than the beginning of my skincare business, because I actually started out my professional working life as a chef, which I spent 22 years in the catering trade. So to cut a long story short, children came along. I really didn't want to go back into that catering environment. It's a tough life, and I knew it would take me away from home, from where I wanted to be. But slightly going back, and the reason I started my skincare, natural skincare range, was because in my mid-20s, I developed pigmentation marks all over my face, horrendous, to the point that I literally didn't want to go outside, especially when the sun was out, because the sun it was sun sensitivity, so it made it a whole lot worse. So soon, I love the sun. I know you shouldn't sit out too much, but I am a sun worshipper. The vitamin D you get from the sun is good for your immune system, etc., etc. But I couldn't go out in the sun, so I became actually quite miserable. Every time I went outside, there'd be a hat on, there'd be thick. Back in the 90s, sunblocks were white, greasy, horrible. That was my life for about 15 years. Every time, I dreaded the summer. Winter was great. Summer, I had to cover up and hide. So I went to a dermatologist who prescribed some quite harsh chemical products like retinols, hydroquinone, however you say it, that lightens the skin. And this just made my problems far worse. This made my skin angry, red and sore. On top of the brown marks, you can imagine the mess that was on my face. And it was at that point I said, something's wrong. Something's not right here. And I said, right, I'm going to start thinking about different ways of dealing with this. So going from there, had my children, had my first child, Tommy, who started to develop sort of eczema-type baby rashes. Whether it was eczema, we don't know, but he was scratching a lot. And your immediate reaction is to go and get something from the chemist, some steroid creams to calm it. I was like, no, I can't go down that route. I know what it did to me, so this can't be right, be putting it on my baby's delicate skin. So I started looking at it. Thank goodness for the internet. You can Google, you can find anything out, can't you? And I knew that it had to be more natural. I wanted to find products that were really natural. And the more I looked into it, the more I realised that so many products that said they were natural on them, in fact, when you looked at the ingredients in them, were far from natural. You were still getting those harsh chemicals in there that I didn't want to be putting on my baby's skin.
No.
So I became a bit of an ingredients detective. I was like, right, I'm not going to use that.
When you look at these labels, Lisa, they don't mean anything. You know, I don't understand the chemistry of it. I don't know what the names are. They trick you by putting these long names on, don't they? And actually, they're really harsh chemicals.
Yeah, they are. And there's no regulations within the beauty industry. They're not well regulated. So even when you see a natural product, it only has to be around 2% natural. The rest can be what it wants to be. And that's where it's a word called greenwashing that people use. And this is where it's leading the customer, the consumer, to believe that it's natural when it's actually far from natural.
Okay.
And I guess where I'm coming from now with my skincare products that I have created, as they are what they say they are. I am totally transparent with everything I do. Every ingredient I use is completely natural and also beneficial for the skin. It's not there just to do its job. It's actually beneficial.
Okay.
Because what you put on your skin also sinks in. So you need to think about the accumulation of what you're putting into your bodies. You know, if you are putting, I mean, women, for instance, can use 15 beauty products a day. And probably not at the moment because we're not going anywhere. So, you know, you might not need as much deodorant at the moment, antiperspirant, but if you think on a daily basis how many products we are, you know, from the second we get up to our toothpaste, our hairsprays, our body lotions, washes, hand washes, makeup, nobody's done any testing to see exactly what the cumulative effect is in the body, because our body absorbs what we put on it. So it makes sense to keep it as clean as possible. There's really no need for these chemicals to be in the products anyway, just the fact that it makes them cheaper to manufacture. So
moving on,
you can see why they use them.
You used to make your products, didn't you, in your own kitchen there, didn't you? That's how you started.
I did, and that's going back to Tommy and his skin issues. I literally was looking on the internet, you know, coconut oil, cocoa butter, shea butter, and making little balms up, and they started to work. They also, obviously I was using them as well, and going back to my pigmentation problems, they were exacerbated through pregnancy as well. It's all the hormone balance and imbalances, etc. But I'd realised that I was going out in the sunshine, having not time to think about myself anymore, that my pigmentation marks weren't coming back. And it was like a light bulb moment that, well, I'm not using all these harsh chemical products on my skin, and what I'm using is clearly making my skin more resilient and healthier, and the barrier function of the skin is very important to resist the damage. So it's at that point, and I'd started giving friends and families little pots, and it soon became apparent that people were saying, you should make a business of this. I was pregnant with Annabelle at the time, so he was like, you're joking. How have I got time to start a business? But when you're passionate about something, you just can't leave it alone, and I couldn't leave it alone. And I was lucky enough at the time that I could do it from home, and I could take the time out to, investigate all of these amazing ingredients that are actually, well, they've always been out there, haven't they? Yeah. We just didn't realise that the power of natural extracts and ingredients. And technology now is so advanced that, you know, I have stem cells, plants and fruit stem cells in my products, because they found through this pioneering technology that these stem cells keep things alive for years, hundreds of years in the wild, mimic your own skin cells. So when you apply them to the skin, they make your skin cells behave like this and live for longer. And yeah, it's all that anti-aging. But this is from plant and fruit cells that years ago, you know, nobody had that technology. So it's amazing, and it really excites me every day to find all these new ingredients, and
that keeps you going. It keeps you going, like you're saying, a busy day. You know, you're still, you know, a mum of two. You've got this business, you still keep going. But like you say, to hear these stories that you get, these testimonials you get from your, you know, clients. It's amazing. I read through some, you know, before coming on here to talk to you today, and there's some fantastic stories out there of people, you know, like your own case study, Lisa.
Yes.
you know, that have had years of horrible, excuse me, skin issues. You know, I'm an eczema sufferer, and I know full well the constant scratching, itching, dry patches, all those things. And I think, you know, if you can help, it helps people's, you know, well-being, their mental state massively, and all the worry we're going through at the moment. You know, it's going to put a strain on everybody, you know, in different ways, and different ways are vulnerable, and people have their own ways of stress coming out, don't they? So I think that's a really important thing we haven't touched on much today, is that kind of stress angle of where we are at the moment, and helping the skin through what you're eating and what you're putting on it.
That's right. Yes. And it isn't just about what you put on your skin. You know, if a client comes to me with a problem, the first thing I will say to them or ask them is, what are you eating? Because you are what you eat, and your skin is what you eat, and it's what you put on your skin. And so it can be a simple tweak, like an allergy to milk, or take
that was my daughter. Yeah, that was my daughter's. So you know, we did. Yeah. So that'll lead us on nicely then. Let's talk about some top tips for natural, beautiful skin at the moment, Lisa. Give me your beauty insider's guide, please.
Well, I think the first and foremost thing at any time of the year for anybody is to keep your fluid intake up. You know, many people don't appreciate that they're just not drinking. I'm not talking sort of cola and things like that. Water, fruit juices, natural fruit juices. And hydration is key to plumpness of the skin anyway, and a plump, hydrated skin resists all the damage and the particles, the pollution and everything. So it can be as simple as, you know, if your skin is looking saggy, dehydrated, it's dry and flaky, first rule, drink more water. And simple things like, you know, if you have dry skin, have an avocado a day, you know, eat half an avocado a day, pop some flaxseed on your cereal every day, just a teaspoon, and just see how it improves your skin. They're your essential fatty acids, your omega oils, that are also in my skincare products, but it makes sense to what you eat and what you put on your skin. But simple tweaks like that. So I'm really passionate about drinking, keep your fluid intake up, definitely. Your omega oils, whether it be vegetarian sources, which is your flaxseed or your chia seeds, and then you get to your fish oils, which is the oily fish that gives you the omegas. But simple tweaks like that to your diet can have a huge effect on your skin as well. The other thing is sugar. That's a difficult one, because
yes, it is a difficult one, and we're all at home, aren't we, where we, you know, constantly raiding the fridge, constantly going to the cupboard. It's a boredom killer. You've cut sugar out, haven't you?
Yeah, it's difficult at the moment. I have to say, I try not to have sort of breads in the house and things like that, but the children are here and they're constantly at the cupboard, and you know, I am still working full-time from home, and you know, the bagels have come out and things like that, but you know, let's hope this is short term and we get back to some normality again. But it's the hidden sugars in things that upsets me. You know, say a bagel, you'd think it's just bread, but if you look at the sugar content in it, or your cornflakes or your Rice Krispies, you think, well, they're not Cocoa Pops. But if you look at the sugar in them, and that's what makes the children eat them, because they still taste sweet. So sugar is, obviously, we know it causes inflammation in the body, it makes us put on weight, etc., but it's really bad for the skin. It's called glycation, and it makes all the cells rigid, and eventually the collagen, it breaks down the collagen in your skin. So another simple rule is cut that sugar out. You know, you can get your natural sugars from your fruits, and your, you know, even your vegetables have sugars in it, and your carbohydrates come from your sugars. Your vegetables and your fruits and your salads. You don't need all that extra sugar, but again, it's well hidden in many products, and you may think that you've got a pretty good diet, but again, try and read those labels and see the sugar content, because it's not doing you any favors, really.
No. You said water, and you touched on some oils and fats there. Sugar. What? Give me some more. Give me some more top tips. I've got a few things here on my list that we spoke about earlier.
Yes. The microbiome of your skin, thinking about probiotics and keeping the skin's and the body's microbiome in tip-top shape. And that's, again, we can get probiotics and prebiotics from our foods. Sometimes you'll probably need to supplement with these as well. But, and again, in my skincare, it is full of prebiotics and probiotics. Again, it's keeping the skin healthy, but I do recommend a good quality probiotic. Eating prebiotic foods, and prebiotic foods help you start to digest the food that then comes along. So they're probiotics further down the line. Okay. Prebiotics will start the process off. So eat, you know, things like sauerkraut.
Okay.
Have sauerkraut, kefirs. Yeah, all of those will help your microbiome and your immune system in general. So yes, definitely. Everybody should be taking them or eating those kinds of foods.
Okay. That's what I'll take from today's call. I'll take that one away from today's call, definitely. And you know, you mentioned your sugars and cleaning up your kitchen, I think you call it. So being smart about what you're taking on board is really key there, isn't it?
Absolutely. And it's, I know we don't have time to read labels, but if you can read labels and be more mindful about what you're putting in your body. And it is, you know, some things are quite simple, and if you don't know, then what can you do? But if you do know, make those informed choices and try to make a few simple changes. And again, going back to the skincare, you know, use less chemicals if you can. Choose more natural, green, friendly, clean products. Your washing up liquids and everything. Try and keep the chemicals out. They're not doing the environment any good, as well as your own health. They're not good for the planet. So yeah, it's just having a little bit more thought towards these things that we use every day and we don't really think about.
So the two products.
The thing is just to give yourself a break, be kind to yourself, and especially at this time when we're all worried, we're all stressed, but a lot of us are at home. So if we can just take that 10 minutes out to start thinking about ourselves and go, we are amazing. Let's give ourselves a pat on the back and say, well done. You know, be kind to yourself.
Yeah, we've got a lot of things to worry about and concern about, and missing our loved ones and businesses and everything. So to try and give an added boost that when we are allowed to be out there again and back into the working world and back to resume things, we've given our bodies a good rest, we've given our mind a recharge, and we're not being hard on them.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Just I say, I touched very briefly then on a couple of your products. You mentioned you sent out some little samples of some balms that you created to your family and friends, and they're the ones that gave you that, you know, momentum to say, hang on, I could have something going here. Your Miracle Balm just sounds incredible, and I've heard that it helps people with dry skin. It helps people that irritated and teenage skin. I put a post on earlier saying that I was looking forward to talking to you this afternoon, and a lady messaged saying that her teenage daughter had snatched hers out of her drawer and she's using it. So I would never have thought of a balm on irritated, inflamed, or let's say teenage skin.
Teenage skin.
In my mind, it works the opposite. I'm not going to put grease onto, you know, what I think is a greasy skin. So
no, you wouldn't think so at all, would you? But no, I didn't design it for teenagers at all. But because these pots are sitting in the mums' bathrooms, teenagers have been pinching them basically, which is a bit of a problem. But anyway, the testimonials that have come back from this balm that is literally zapping spots, teenage spots, in a couple of days is incredible. But it was designed with antibacterial ingredients in it as well. So, and it also detoxifies the skin. You've got watermelon seed in there, and you've got pumpkin seed oils, and they all draw out impurities, toxins, etc., etc. You've got the antibacterial ingredients in there. You've got rosemary CO2 extract. You know, all these lovely ingredients.
I want to eat it.
Yeah, you know what? It can be used as a lip balm, and many people have said it really tastes nice. And you know what? You could eat it because there's nothing in there that's not edible. And you know, this is my whole skincare range. It's based on these amazing food-based extracts and ingredients, especially the superfoods. But going back to the teenage skin, yes, you wouldn't expect to be putting greasy. It's not greasy, but it is a balm. It's made of oils. It doesn't have water in it. You wouldn't expect to be putting it on oily teenage skin. In fact, what it does is balance the oil production. So sometimes the more you wash with astringent washes, oily skin, it's stripping the skin of the oils it naturally produces. So if you think about it, it will keep producing oil because you keep stripping it of oil. So it's the reverse of what you think you should do, but actually popping the oil on stops the skin producing more oil. But this balm deep cleanses as well. So, you know, that teenage skin or anybody's skin that's suffering from.
Because you've also got a long-standing client and fan of your skincare who I believe used your balm on her pregnancy bump how long? 12, 14 years ago? When was it that?
I think it was about 12, 13 years ago. Yes, yes. And now,
can we share who the fan is, Lisa?
Absolutely, go for it.
It's Tamzin Outhwaite, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It is. And I wouldn't have ever believed all those years ago that I would now. She's working very closely with me, and she's given my business a massive boost. And even though we've been chatting over the years, it wasn't until last year when I realised that my business is doing very well, but it's still very local. And that's fantastic because my local customers, my loyal local customers, thank you very much, have kept me going. They are my bread and butter. But I know that there's a whole world out there that also, you know, that it should be out there, but it's not out there.
Such an amazing product, and it does all of this for all skin types, all ages, from babies to teenagers to mature skins. We need to know about it. And
yes.
Yes, you've been mentioned in, you know, featured in Vogue and Tatler, which, as I said, you know, jokingly we begin with, wow, I'm really impressed with that. Not a bigger message there, and you know, you've got to grow your business, haven't you? And you know, I'm right behind you. You know, I'm so proud to hear that Tamzin has really seen the benefits in the product, and it's something that she's had personal experience of all these years, and she's working with you now.
Absolutely.
That's fantastic.
Yes. Yes, thank you. Yeah, it really has boosted me. And yeah, and she's such a lovely person. It's amazing. But she's really generally interested in health and beauty, and she's really dedicated, and she's really, really helping me. So yeah, no, it's brilliant. It's a shame that I just started visiting her in London quite frequently, but obviously at the moment that's all on hold. But I'm really looking forward to getting back to that. It's taken me out of Stamford and you know, into the big wide world out there that, you know, I've been here and my life is just in the village, really, which I love. But
you've also done something really amazing, Lisa, locally. I've seen it on your social media, but tell everybody what you've done for the nurses and the healthcare workers. Just go on, I'm going to put you on the spot now.
Yes, well, thoughtful. I was contacted by a lovely lady. I didn't know who she was, and this was on Instagram. And to be honest, I'm bombarded with people wanting freebies and things every day, and you have to scroll through everything to make sure what's genuine and what's not. But this one caught my eye, and she said, "Could you donate to the NHS, the frontline workers? Any donation would be amazing." And I sort of looked her up to see who she was. And she's the daughter of the late Nicky Waterman, the fitness instructor. And she's friends with Jamie Landsberg and Tamzin. So it was one of Tamzin's posts that she put up that Alex saw this and said, do you think she would donate? And she said, call her. So she called me and I said, do you know what? I've been thinking of how I can help, but I don't know what to do and I don't know where to go. And again, I'm stuck in Little Barnock. What do I do? And she said, I said, and how do I get them to you if I donate? She said, don't worry, we will pay for all of that. We will get the products to London, the London hospitals. So And Rob helped as well, bless him. We decided that we would meet halfway. So Rob took all these boxes, packed them all up, took them to the Black Cat roundabout where her gang came and picked them up. And within the next week, they were all distributed through the Royal Free Hospital, the Whittington, the oncology nurses, and the University College Hospitals of London. And I had all these fabulous photos coming back of them holding the products. It brought a tear to my eye. And I got an email from the matron of the Royal Free as well, which was really beautiful. And I think, you know, a small gesture compared to, you know, others were Estee Lauder, they were donating, I donated 350. But it's not a lot in the grand scheme of things. But, you know,
that's all you've given away that you'd have sold normally, Lisa. So that, you know, that is a really amazing gesture, and I'm sure everybody there really was so grateful of that. And you know, it's your little own business that you're doing. You're not a big corporate, you know, and that's really what you've done. So, you know, thank you from all of us for that gesture of you know, massive generosity and the effort you put in there.
Stuck into you, really, but yes, thank you.
That's really good of you. Thank you very much. So, just finally, how can people make contact with you, Lisa? Tell them how they could reach out if they've got any concerns with their skin, and find out. You've obviously got a good website going. How else can people follow you and reach out and make contact?
Well, obviously I've got all my social media channels. You know, if you have got a problem with your skin, call me. I'm here. I'm quite happy to chat about diets, the products that you use. You know, if you're not sure of the ingredients in your products, I can take a look. I can let you know. But just call me or take a look at the website. There's a lot of detail on there, and there's a lot of top tips on there. I'm not saying don't call me, but you know, there's a lot of information on there as well. And yeah, I'm here. Call me.
That's fantastic. And just finally, I'm going to just ask you of your when restrictions are lifted and we're back out there again, tell me the one thing you're looking forward to doing most with your family, be it your favourite restaurant in the area or an activity or somewhere local that you're really desperately missing. I know I'm missing driving around and doing my job and seeing all the houses and the homes and the villages that we're living in. You know, I can't wait to go into Stamford and have a great coffee. But you know, tell me what the thing that you're looking forward to doing most with your family.
I think, you know, with the Norfolk coast being quite close, I think it would be a day at the seaside and get out there to, you know, all the fabulous restaurants, as much as there's brilliant ones in Stamford and surrounding areas. Of course, we'll do that as well, because it would be so good to see everybody that we're missing. But, you know, a day at the beach with the children. Hopefully after today's rain, we'll get some sunshine again. But yeah, a day at the beach.
That does sound good. Pack up a picnic, prepare your skin, don't get sunburned.
Yeah, use your antioxidant oil.
Well, Lisa, I've really enjoyed talking to you. I am actually going to do a little count from tomorrow morning when I get up, how many products I'm putting on my skin, and what I use throughout them. You know, I'll probably be quite shocked when I look at the labels on things that I thought were natural, that I thought had, you know, plant extracts in, therefore they're good for me. And I'm going to, you know, be in touch, I think, to talk to you about all sorts of health, you know, skin concerns I've got.
Yeah, no, go for it. Go for it.
It sounds an amazing range of skincare, natural skincare that you've got, and we do be mindful of what we're slathering on and every day. So thank you for your time. I've really enjoyed talking to you. You and your family. All the very best as well. And everybody, please follow Lisa's Facebook page and her on Instagram. She's got some really helpful top tips on there for healthy skin and just general health advice as well, which is so important right now when we're, you know, not in our daily routines as normally. Good chance we can kind of assess things and take stock of where we are. So thank you, Lisa, and look forward to catching up.
Thank you, Lottie, so much. Thank you for your support, and love to all the family as well.
Thank you very much. See you soon.
Take care. See you.